Good morning, learners. This is Dr. Ramesh Babu, Damarla. Today we'll be discussing about production and operations management, which is a fundamental course for bachelor's degree and master's degree in management. And today we'll discuss a little bit. In every supply chain, manufacturing, wherever production involved other than services, so manufacturing becomes a key aspect where raw materials are converted into finished products using several technologies, methodologies, techniques, and processes. So today we'll be discussing about production methods and processes. Basically, production involves conversion of input materials into output products through a transformation process. This transformation process is also called manufacturing process. Like we notice, raw steel rods are taken, cut into a different sizes, and weld, paint, form into a wonderful box, wonderful steel chair or steel table, or any article. So that welding, cutting, finishing are called transformation process. If you take manufacturing of a wooden sofa set, raw ingredients are wooden logs, cloth if required, nails, required processes to convert wood into a wonderful sofa. So all the steps involved in conversion are called transformation process or production process. Ultimately, the materials are converted to output. So production operation management, generally termed as manufacturing, some people say making. When you making some food, we say preparing. When you are fixing 2-3 things together, we say fixing and assembling, or accessories or subcomponents. When you're putting together, we say fitting. And also production operations management involves operations also other than production, like services like banking, insurance, airport operations, travel and tourism, like hospitality, hospital management, and many more things. Now let us see what is basically a product. A product is a tangible item. It can be your mobile phone, a car, a bike, a pizza, a textbook, set of shoe, a jeans pant, right? Anything tangible. Okay? It can be food item, cosmetic item, machinery. Consumer goods are different and industrial goods are different. Consumer goods, all we use, correct? Food products packed in wonderful packaging, medicine, cosmetics, many more. Industrial goods, basically semi-finished goods, machinery, tools, instruments, etc. And again, further categorized are consumable items, non-consumable items. Consumable item means customer consumes. Whereas non-consumable items are like instrument, tool, which are not consumable, correct? A thermometer is a non-consumable. Cotton for a hospital is a consumable item. Alcohol used in a hospital is a consumable item. Stethoscope is a non-consumable item, right? Then machinery, tools, etc. What is basically manufacturing process? As we discussed, conversion of input into output. Few examples like raw materials converted into final product. Sugar cane is taken, several thermal processes are done, filtration, etc., sulfation, crystallization. Ultimately, sugar is formed in a sugar factory. It becomes final sugar. Or you take some resources and convert them into a service. like a banking service, airline service, services. Then semi-finished item you take and convert into finished item. Wooden sheets are taken, steel sheets are taken in semi-finished form by a carpenter or a welder. Then do cutting, shaping, molding, bending, joining, finally makes a finished item. Means semi-finished materials are taken and finished. This is another one. Sugar is raw material is taken and converted into final product. Whereas this wood, semi-finished is taken and converted into a sofa set or stool, table, etc. or chair. Suppose a company is taking concentrated apple juice and converting into diluted juice or some other form of product, then we say semi-finished is taken and made into finished item. If you're taking apples say fresh, prepare juice, bottle it, thermal process, pack it and sell it, it is raw material conversion to final product. When you take a food, raw ingredients are taken and converted into a dish. We also need to discuss here about industry. When we say factory, manufacturing unit, process unit, production plant, this industry also comes into picture. Students always use the same word for company and industry, right? Company is a single entity. When we say industry, companies carrying similar kind of business together, we call it as industry, right? For example, food industry. You buy Lays, Kurkure, or any potato chips or any fried product, anything packed. All the companies making similar kind of food products, we call them as food industry. Automobile industries as a company, Maruti Udyog, we say Maruti car company. Then Maruti is there, Hyundai, Honda, Kia, many more companies are there. That entire set of companies we call it as automobile industry. Similarly, textile industry, garment manufacturers, sari manufacturers, reeling, twisting, twinning, many kind of operations, embroidery, all that textile industry. And software industry, all individual companies, software companies, together we say software industry. Chemical industry, all kind of chemical manufacturers, manufacturing of ammonia, manufacturing of sulfuric acid, manufacturing of any kind of medical raw ingredients for pharma, making of any kind of chemical, all that we say chemical industry. And pharma industry, who makes bulk pharma drugs, retail pharma packing, all kind of pharmaceutical manufacturing. We say pharma industry. So basically, company means a single entity. Industry means all similar kind of companies are doing similar kind of business. Together we call it as industry. Now let us see our understanding of manufacturing unit. Traditionally, earlier days, people used to call factory, right? Steel factory, sugar factory. Okay, factory was the earlier version. Now we use manufacturing plant, assembling unit, a mill, or a workshop, something like that. If it is for mineral water, we say mineral water plant. If it is alcohol beverages plant, we say alcohol beverage plant. If it is a beer manufacturing, we say beer plant. If it is a chemical manufacturing plant, we say chemical processing unit. For steel, we say steel plant. For making of electricity by in a thermal power station, we say thermal power plant. So these different words are used, but similar meaning. Okay, factory, plant, unit, mill, workshop, etc. Why we need to learn about this operations management? Purpose is to know the fundamentals of production. Basically, 4 M's are used. Men, that is both men and women, manpower, which are used in the process. Materials, that is raw materials used, or semi-finished materials used, or standard accessories, spare parts used, all that comes under materials. Then machinery, you need a welding machine to join 2 components. You need a fixing machine to join 2 components. You need a painting machine to paint the car. Steel components, Correct? You need a frying machine in a kitchen of the food manufacturing company. It's like that machinery also required. Fourth one is money. Okay, money required to buy raw materials, to buy machinery, to pay for the people, to manage the overhead activities, etc. And we also need to learn what happens in a production unit, which we're going to learn, and also to understand the link between production and other functions of the organization. This is very important. Alone production unit is not complete for a business. The business has got entire supply chain, right from buying raw materials, putting in a warehouse, transporting to the manufacturing plant, converting into finished good, again putting in the warehouse, the finished good warehouse, from there distributing to distributors, from there shipping to retailers, from there going to consumer. During this entire process, several functions are required to operate a company. Like human organs are important, all the organs for a company. Marketing, human resource management, production or manufacturing, finance and accounts, logistics, research, maintenance. So all these are important functions. MIS, management information systems. So we need to understand the link between production and other functions also. And also we need to learn about efficiency. How efficiently we are doing so that we can place our product in the market at a competitive price, better than competitors' price, and productivity and growth. For this purpose, we are going to learn production and operations management. Let us have a look into the status of this manufacturing activities in India. Since independence, the growth curve is exponential. And there is a large scope in the country because we are surplus in agriculture produce. We have sufficient resources of water, land, manpower at reasonable charges, manpower available. And we are a huge 1.4 billion people in India, huge consumption. And we have export potential to sell our products in other countries wherever we have surplus. A lot of manpower available, unskilled, semi-skilled, skilled labor available, skilled people available, a lot of resources available and support available. So there's a large scope in India for manufacturing, domestic consumption and export. And any student who is learning this, you need to think how you can contribute. By knowing about POM, how you can contribute to the society, how you can influence the life of the people. Wherever, if you're a student, wherever you're going to work, see that you utilize your resources properly, efficiently, effectively, optimally. Manage your operations efficiently. Minimum resources, minimum wastages or zero wastage, and maximum output should be a target of anybody because resources are very limited on Earth, correct? So we should reduce the wastage and utilize the maximum. We should make better quality and we should be able to offer at competitive price to the consumer. This way, a learner can contribute. Let us see the definition of the operations management. Operations management is a business function which is responsible for planning, coordinating, controlling the resources needed to produce production services for a company. We also can say operations management is a management function. And it is one of the core functions of the organization. Every organization, whether it is manufacturing or service sector or whether it is for profit or not for profit, everywhere operations involved and should be done efficiently. Let us have a look on how typical manufacturing organization is linked with other functions. In a company, you can see the operations are handled by the general manager, vice president, or any rank officer who manages people, equipment, technology, materials, and information to produce goods and or services. which is linked with the marketing. In this chart, you can see the marketing will know customer demands and they generate sales for goods and services. And another important function is finance, which manages cash flow, current assets, capital investments, and many more things. They're all interlinked. So production operations team must know the requirements of the consumer through marketing team and financial aspects in coordination with the finance and accounts department. Now let us see what is the role of the operations management. Basically, transforms inputs into outputs as we discussed through 4 M's plus one more M is manufacturing, one more M is methodology. Now let us see the transformation process. You can see in the middle, transformation process. Here, it is a closed loop system. Inputs are taken. Manpower, machinery, methodologies, manufacturing, materials, money. Altogether comes as input, undergoes transformation process, and your output is either goods or service. And the closed loop, very important. Customer feedback must be taken so that we can modify our system and make more efficient. And also performance information must be taken as feedback so that we can improve in the inputs, which are very, very important to deliver quality goods and last for a long time in the market. And what is the operations management transformation role? To add value, increase product value at each stage. This is required to be learned. And value added in the net increase in between output product value and input material value. Very, very important. Provide an efficient transformation. The transformation must be efficiently done. Very, very important. Let us see basic difference between services and manufacturing or manufacturers. We all know this. Services are intangible. You cannot touch, feel, and sense. Manufacturing is tangible product. And in services, you cannot inventorize like products. Correct, no? We need to consume then and there, like watching a movie, going for a mall, going for, purchasing an insurance product, going for a theme park, right? You cannot stock services, doctor service, lawyer service, consultant service. Whereas production, you can inventorize, you can keep some stock. In case of services, the customer contact is very high. Okay? Customer and service provider both meet to deliver the service. In case of manufacturing, this is not required because production can be done at a remote location somewhere far away from the manufacturing point. Like electronic goods are manufactured in Singapore, Thailand, China, Japan, and sold in other countries far distance. And generally, services, the response time is shorter. For manufacturing, the response time is slightly longer comparatively. Services is generally labor intensive. And manufacturing is capital intensive. Means for manufacturing, you require a lot of infrastructure, machinery. So in case of services, skilled people required. To develop a software product, expert software engineers are required. Business analysts required. Data analysts required. Data scientists required. In case of manufacturing, we spend more money on building the infrastructure, purchasing the machinery, installing and maintaining it. In services, people are important. In manufacturing, machinery, we spend more money. Important in the sense, more money required to be put on capital setup of machinery, building, conveyors, material handling systems, etc. There are differences between tangible and intangible, that is, production and service. At the same time, there are similarities also, whether you are production manager or operations manager. In both the cases, these points we should keep in mind that both use technology. The hospital uses technology. To store the data, they use database management systems and MIS. Nowadays, hospitals are equipped with advanced robots in the surgery rooms, which assist doctor, cannot replace doctor, which assist doctor. In case of manufacturing, you need a lot of technologies. And in both the cases, quality, productivity, response issues are important. Means for delivering service, quality is very much required if you want to retain the customer and get the business again from the same customer. Similarly, productivity, how efficiently you are doing, and response issues, all these must be kept in mind. And in both the cases, production operations managers required to forecast the demand so that you can make arrangements. How many customers are going to come? What is going to be the queue length? In a railway station, in a cinema theater, in a theme park, wherever you're delivering service, you must forecast the demand so that you can make arrangements to meet the demand. For a hospital, similarly, in manufacturing, you must forecast what is going to be the demand for this product, for this model next 1 month, 2 months, 10 months, or 2 years. It is short-term forecasting, medium-term forecasting, or long-term forecasting is also required for both. And both the cases, service and production, capacity is to be decided. Layouts are important, proper layout where you are delivering service, and location issues where you are locating your service station, service point, hospital or school or nursing room, any service center, along with the other parameters. Even for production unit, location issues are very, very important. More important point is both have customers, suppliers. In both the cases, you need to plan your timetable, that is scheduling. And in both the cases, staffing issues must be kept in mind. Arrangement for manpower. Services and manufacturing differences. Sometimes manufacturing also involves little service. The car may be made, but before delivering, little service is involved. Attaching accessories or test drive or performance check or cleaning. Some service is involved. In fact, product and service both go together. Maybe sometime a product have high tangible component and little service component. In some cases, high service component, little tangible component, which we'll discuss in the last slide. So some organizations are a blend of service or manufacturing or quasi-manufacturing, semi-manufacturing, or together. Quasi-manufacturing characteristics are low customer contact and again capital intensive. Let us see companies which produce goods, which produce services, we generally term them as, if they're producing goods, we say manufacturers. If they're giving service, we say service center. But in real life, these both go together. Let us see this goods services continuum. What is the meaning of continuum? You can see every product has got some component of service and every service got some component of product. In this diagram, we can see from the bottommost, if you take automobile manufacturing assembly, steel manufacturing, raw materials are steel, different minerals and metals, energy, water, and several ingredients go into, and transformation process takes place to assemble a car, to make a steel rails, steel bars, steel ingots, steel cubes in a steel plant. So in this case, the service component is minimal. You can see the demarcation line, almost more than 90% is goods component, little bit is service component. When you see a house reconstruction, a kitchen remodeling, house remodeling, or retail sales, this involves slightly more service component is involved in this case compared to steel or making. About 70 to 80% is goods component, about 10 to 20% is service component. What service component here extra? House remodeling, you need experienced carpenters, painters, finishers, fitters, welders. So there is some service involved in this. Next, another good example is automobile repair. Earlier we discussed automobile manufacturing assembly. Now automobile repair, like a dealer arranging for service of a car. So when we go for service, you all know, during service, car will be checked by the technician, expert, verified whether all the systems are okay. They check air filter, engine oil filter, they replace the engine oil, clean the air filter, clean the engine wherever required, check all the play in the clutch, check gearbox, any noise, any loose bolts and nuts, whether all the systems are working properly or not, electronic system, electrical systems, mechanical systems, hydraulic systems in brakes and power steering, etc. All the motors, all the lights. So during this course, if you notice, there are little goods component and little service component. Approximately 50 to 50% spare parts work will be there, and 40 to 50% service component will be there. The technician, the expert who is doing the engine repair, who is doing the service. That's why when we go for car service, they generate a bill which shows both spare parts components, lubricating oil, spark plug, okay, air filter, oil filter if they replace, or any belt replacement. Another component is labor component, charges for the technicians, for the cleaner, for the washer, etc. Okay, we have both the components, goods component, service component. Here goods means the spare parts or accessories or consumables. The next one is computer repair or having dinner in a restaurant, having a meal in a restaurant. In this case, if you see, relatively service component is more, goods component is less. We go for computer repair. Suppose computer gone bad, we go for repair. There, expert will check and verify where things gone wrong. What gone wrong? It need not be replacement of any component. It can be formatting. It can be rechecking the battery, rechecking SMPS, something like that. Means about 30 to 40% will be goods component, and about 60 to 70% will be service component. Expert repair job will be charged for. So service component, it will be charged. Next level, you can see almost here it is sliding towards service. That is software development. All software companies, their business analyst, analyst, data scientists, software engineers, their skill is converted into a software product, correct? Generating a new app, creating a new web application, new HTML page, new package for a software, new solution. Okay, all this requires people's skill converted into programs, codes, testing methodologies, ultimately whether tangible or intangible product, software product. So almost 70 to 80% is service component and little bit goods component. What can be little bit goods component? It can be little hardware, server, support systems, pen drives, etc. And another highest level of good service continuum is almost pure service, more than 90%. A surgery in a hospital, and definitely see doctor's skill. Maybe few tools are used like surgery tools, robot assistants, or scissors, knives, blades, surgical items, pathological items, right? The surgery room maintained properly with hygiene. So little goods components, little spare parts, right? Maybe few injection or syringe, little saline water drips, little medicine, right, etc. may be used. So 5 to 10% will be goods component, and more than 90% is service component. This is same for a training and teaching institutes also. Training teaching institutes, 90% is the trainer's skill converted into output required by the learner, correct? Let us see another important aspect of operations management decisions. Basically, two levels of decisions: strategic decisions and tactical decisions. Tactical decisions are generally shop floor level decisions. Strategic decisions are higher level decisions. Senior management will take decisions about broad scope, long-term in nature, strategic decisions. What we are going to release, which model in next year, next 5 years, what will be the market, how new models we need to bring, etc. are strategic decisions. Tactical decisions are how many labor to be deployed in the night shift today, how many orders are there, how to schedule, etc. etc. Daily operations, we say tactical decisions. Let's also see historically how these concepts developed. You all know Industrial Revolution happened in late 1700s. Initially, during wartime, people required a lot of logistics, machinery, support services. Then slowly scientific management started, work study, time studies have come up. Scientists, industrial engineers started investigating into how to do productive work, how to do large quantity of manufacturing with mechanized way. All these scientific studies were done in late 1900s. Then later, human relations movement, right? How manpower must be used for effective output. Train the people, motivate the people. This concept became very, very important. The management science concepts came into picture after 1940s up to 1960s. When computers are used in the manufacturing process, computers controlled CNC machines, NC numerical control machines, automation slowly came up after 1960s with the support of all the electronic industries of boom. A lot of electronic devices come up. A lot of integrated circuits have come up. They all supported this computer age programming for manufacturing systems, which supported automatic manufacturing. The 1970s, concept of environmental issues also became very important because natural resources cannot be depleted simply by manufacturing things and converting inefficiently. We must definitely concern about the sustainability issues. Then slowly, 1980s, Japanese industrial engineers brought the concepts of just in time without having huge inventory, unnecessary inventory. Then Japanese industrial engineers and quality engineers came up with the total quality management concepts with quality first, so that customer satisfied, minimum scrap, minimum wastage, maximum efficiency. All these concepts are later accepted by the entire world of the 1980s. Then 1990s, re-engineering concepts have come up. Then 1980 to 90, global competition, global markets are open. So wherever surplus is there, other countries, people are able to export and sell. Wherever low-cost country sourcing available, people started purchasing raw materials from low-cost country sourcing. Flexibility, time-based competition, supply chain management developments, a lot of concepts developed. And e-commerce came into picture after 2000s. Then outsourcing means focusing on core activities became priority for companies and giving outsourcing for the non-core items in the company. Before closing, let us see what is the today's operations management environment. Customers demand better quality, at greater speed, and lower costs. And companies are implementing lean systems concepts with minimal resources, zero wastage, how to manufacture more things and operations. People recognize need to better manage information through ERP systems, enterprise resource planning, and CRM systems. Then increased cross-functional decision making. All this is today's environment, which are important for production operations management. OM in practice. This involves manufacturing area, quality area, inventory, supply chain, MIS. There is a vast scope for people who are learning production and operations management. And another aspect is business information flow. Here, all the functions you can see: marketing function, information systems, finance, human resource, engineering, accounts. All these are connected with operations. All these are connected together. Entire operations can be successful. Efficient use of HR, efficient engineering practices and technologies, accounting, proper accounting, and marketing, because marketing is the front face of the company, then financial support. All these are interlinked. For an example, if operations department orders for raw material purchase, intent goes to stores, stores will raise further requirement to purchase office, purchase office will buy the raw materials. When the raw materials are purchased, tendering process happens, suppliers are selected, materials are purchased, then supplier to be paid, some advance and later payments, then definitely the finance and accounts comes into picture. And after the products are made, the products will go from finished goods warehouse to customer through the supply chain. Entire marketing team will be looking after that. So daily coordination, regular coordination is required between operations manager and all other functions, which is very, very key. So that's all from my side today. And before closing, thank you for watching this. These are only basics of production and manufacturing. With my little experience in Voltas Limited as a production engineer and some time in DRDO for about 7 years as a senior scientific assistant, then Indian Railways as a senior manager, logistics and technical for about 8 years. So all my learnings I'm going to share with you in the coming videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.